To pay or not to pay? That is the question. Hello, my name is Maurice Wilson with the Wealth Equation Podcast. I'm an engineer turned financial advisor with a small financial services firm called Wilson Wealth Management. You can find out more about the firm at wilsonwealth.com, and you can find out more about this podcast at the Wealth Equation Podcast or the Wealth Equation on Podbean. Now, one of the questions I used to get a lot when I first started my practice was, do I pay off debt or invest money? And for a generation of college students, I would say the first generation of college students, which would be the Gen Xers, who went through and, you guys know, you accumulated all this student loan debt, you would get the refund checks and go spend them, or, just basically we caught the falling knife of the student loan, the first wave of the student loans that have created the student loan crisis that we're in today, right? We all know that that was one of the biggest questions coming out of college. Do I start paying on some of this debt, or do I start taking advantage of these 401k accounts, IRA accounts, saving for retirement, buying a home, getting a car, things of that nature, right? So one of the things I came up with early in my career, or one of the things I realized was, well, first first rule of debt, right? First rule of debt, according to me, is that you owe what you owe, right? You owe what you borrowed, right? So if you borrowed 100,000 to go to school, if you borrowed 10,000 on your credit card, if you borrowed 25,000 to get a car, 500,000 to get a house, you owe what you borrowed, right? Now the question is, what you pay to pay that loan back can be affected, right? And that's what we call interest, right? And interest is rooted in the concept that when I give you money, when I lend you money, when the government lends you money, when your car financing company lends you money, when your parents lend you money, when anybody lends you money, their interest in getting the money back is that rate that they charge, right? They already got the money, they're giving it to you, right? So what they're interested in is not just getting their money back, but a return on their money, right? So when you owe what you borrowed, right? When you borrow 10,000, what you can affect, what you can reduce, or what can go really bad on you is the interest owed on the money. So rule number two is you can control what you pay when you pay the money back, right? And then rule number three is when you have finished paying off debt, do not be in the same position financially that you were when you borrowed the money. So, one of the conundrums for people who have student loans up until recently, I'm talking about the past. I understand the economy is different now, but in the past, one of the conundrums I had for people who complain about student loans was simply, you borrowed this money so you could be in position to have a job, to have a career, right? So you're in a better position than you were when you stepped off the stage in high school. When you got your high school diploma, you were an unemployed, lowly paid 18-year-old. Now you are early 20 something, mid 20 something, hopefully six figure or high five figure professional, right? The cost to get there is this loan. So don't complain about the loan. Let's focus on the interest of the loan. And there's several ways to do it, right? That we can get into in another podcast, right? But focus on the interest, not the big number, but that little number that tends to go up over time, depending on how you pay it back. And also, let's focus on bullet point three, which is really where we're going here. When you pay this loan back, do not be in the same position financially. So, having a job, having a business is the first step to not being in the same position. But that doesn't mean you have anything, right? Like my business isn't worth anything, right? Technically, right? I can sell it to somebody, but they probably can't run it like I can. My job isn't worth anything technically, right? They can take it from me anytime. So all you have are your assets, the things that literally cannot be taken from you under normal circumstances, right? You can't get fired from your 401k. You can't get fired from your property, right? Unless you never owned it outright. So what you want to do is the only way you're going to do that is that you prioritize asset building, wealth building, asset accumulation while you're also paying back the debt, right? So let's think about it. If I've got 10 years to pay back a student loan, right? And I'm going to pay it back, but if at the same time I've accumulated 50,000, right? 100,000 in the stock market, right? In my bank account. I am better off financially when I finally pay out that loan. I don't just simply have a job, I have assets. So that if I lose that job, I'm not back out here in the streets begging for money, right? One of the examples I would always use when I was speaking to large crowds is I would put two slides up. One slide, I'd have a doctor that's debt free and no assets. The other slide, I'd have a doctor that had 1 million in assets, 1 million in the bank, and 1 million in student loans. And I'd say, who's better off? And some people would get it, but a lot of people would pick the doctor with no debt and no assets. Well, if he loses his job, what does he have? Right? If the doctor loses his job and he's got 1 million in the bank and he owes 1 million in student loans, he's got a lot more options. He's got 1 million options on what to do the day after he loses his job, right? The doctor that gets laid off, he probably has to go back to school or take on more debt or do something, right? Paying off that debt did nothing for him if he doesn't have the assets to protect himself. Um, so my answer to pay or not to pay is to not pay until you're on the path of increasing your assets, right? One of the biggest regrets, and we'll cover this in another video, of course, but I don't mind saying it here. One of the biggest regrets of anybody that comes into my office is not starting earlier, not putting money away earlier, just putting something away, right? I have kids right now. I try to tell them, like, look, go ahead and throw 10%, 5%, whatever into these accounts. It's going to add up. People who are Gen Xers like me, I was talking with an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old last week. We were opening up an account for them, and I said, "Look, if I had put this much money in Nike when Nike came out with the Jordan shoes in '85, this money would have turned into 10 million by now, right?" And it's just crazy. So that is what we're talking about. Like, yes, debt is a nuisance. Yes, we hate seeing the statements. We hate getting the phone calls. If you're late, I know some of you, you're not, some of us are late from time to time, right? We're building this thing. But what's going to be the smart decision, the correct decision, the one that you won't regret, right? Later in life, is that you built assets on your own, that you bought that property, that you bought that stock, that you well, basically, those are the two assets that I deal with. You can say starting a business, but businesses aren't really assets until you really built them up. Most businesses are not worth anything, right? I mean, I know that's shocking, but most value in a business is in the founder. And if the founder or primary operator isn't there, things change, right? The businesses that go on to be worth something are ones that can run without the founder. But keep in mind, Schwab, Starbucks, Dell, they all fell on hard times when the founder stepped away. So it's very hard to extricate yourself from your business and say, here it's worth this much, right? So I'm big on building assets in the ground, right? Real estate and in the stock market. So when it comes to the choice, do I pay off this debt or invest? I'm always going to say prioritize the investing first. We will handle the debt, right? But long term, those assets are going to be what you want to have working for you. If you're enjoying what you're seeing here today, please check us out at the Wealth Equation Podcast on YouTube. You can also find us on Podbean and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever where podcasts can be found. The Wealth Equation Podcast. Um, Now, one thing I do want to focus on, if you could visualize it, right? If you could visualize what I mean by being in a better place financially. I like to use a circle, right? So if you can imagine a circle starting here at 12 o'clock, right? So at 12 o'clock, you're debt free, right? You're debt free. You just stepped out of college or out of high school. You're 18, right? Now you go to college. So you take on all this debt. So now you're going down, right? Take on all this debt, go through college, whatever. And then you graduate, right? And now you're at the bottom of that circle, right? Okay. Now you want to dig out from this debt and whatever. So say you dig out the debt, you're coming back around from 6 p.m. all the way back to 12, right? If when you pay off that debt, you're right in the same position as you were at the start of this journey, you lost, right? You lost because what you want to do is you want to be way higher, right? You want to accelerate to be higher. You want to build something by the time you pay off that debt. What do I mean? A dentist, a doctor who comes out of med school or dental school with 200, 300,000 in student loans, if by the time he or she has paid off that debt, they have a six-chair dentist practice generating, hundreds of thousands with hundreds of thousands of millions in the bank. They won. If that doctor is seeing, 20 patients a day, money coming in, they've got a million plus in the bank, $1 million home, they won by the time they pay off that debt. If all they have is a medical degree, a dental degree, no income coming in, no assets in the bank, and they pay off the debt, they lost, right? You don't want to be in the same position financially when you pay off debt. So when you go on that journey of building wealth, paying off debt, make sure that the debt payoff journey results in real material wealth that you can put your hands on, because that's all that's going to matter at the end of the day. People die with debt all the time. People die with debt. That's why we have life insurance, you know? So, but assets, right? That is the key. And assets are what you live with, right? If you don't die and you don't have assets, hey, not a great existence, right? So use your youth, use your time, use your money to build wealth as your primary financial directive, if you will, and you will find that things will be better for you. If you're enjoying this information, definitely ask you to check us out on YouTube, the Wealth Equation Podcast. My name is Maurice L. Wilson, engineer turned financial advisor, where every week I come to you with the Wealth Equation, where we try to help you build wealth and build it more efficiently. Feel free to check me out at wilsonwealth.com and all things at Wilson Wealth and the Wealth Equation Podcast. Thank you.